Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and I think I've seen one of the most disgusting displays of YouTuber Twitch behavior. Now, if it's something I want to start off with, obviously all of our communities didn't just come out of nowhere, okay? We all had 1 subscriber, 10 subscribers, hundreds, and then thousands, and then up to 1 million and then beyond. So obviously for a lot of channels, alright, they build their communities from the start. Now let me tell you something right now. I think the true test of any YouTuber is if they truly realize after everything that they're always still a complete loser. So for instance, I know for a fact that I'm a fat Indian guy that used to read creepypastas, browse the deep web, still do occasionally. I'm working on one right now, actually. It just takes time to amalgamate everything that isn't a goddamn Hitman website for the 900th millionth time. And then, of course, virus investigations, which I still do, and sometimes I play around with Windows. In fact, I got Windows 12. I got scammed into buying that. You're going to get a video of that soon. But, yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, none of us are some crazy celebrities. We're all just losers on the internet that sit around and talk about goofy shit that doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. So again, if you truly have your level-headed there, if you're level-headed, you're going to be fine on the platform, okay? You can connect with the people around you. Hell, I remember when I used to stream, alright, way early on Twitch with System Shock 2. I used to play crappy RPG Maker games like Witch's House, really spooky screamer stuff. And we had audiences of like maximum 79, all right? That's pretty much what we're looking at, all right? The chat moved really slow, but I could recognize names even to this day. When people like DirtNap90 show up in a video, when Staz Charlie Blood pops in, when Bubba shows up, who, last I checked, is finally living their dreams. When people come into my chat that I haven't seen for months, of course I'm going to ask them where they've been. And the answers sometimes aren't going to be great because, hey, people have shit going on in their life, and sometimes that shit can be traumatizing. Now, today's video is from a YouTuber known as, today's video is from a streamer actually known as We Found the Body, which is something that people are about to say regarding this man's career, given his complete utter meltdown regarding asking a streamer a simple question. So let's actually look at what went on. They talked about how they haven't for a while, and I mentioned a scene that they should watch, and they followed up with, "Curvy, where have you been? I was on mobile TV, so things were delayed a little, but they continued to talk about other things." And then I said, LMAO, well, my mom died. Of course, the LMAO was meant for something a little bit going on behind the scenes, but they said, hey, I was away because my parent died. So obviously, if you out of your way ask somebody and they give you that response, let's just listen to it, okay? Because I can't even explain it in the best way.
And it's chef's kiss. All right. Curvy, where the have you been? Oh my God. Well, tell you what, Miss Dirty Curvy, you know what we're not going to do? We're not going to talk about it in my chat. Because it's Friday, and that is a whole big bucket of bummer. And I'm sorry for your loss, but we're not doing that in my chat.
Oh no, dude, where have you been? Oh, your mom died? That's not poggers, that's a bucket of bummers. What's wrong with you? We're not gonna do that on Friday. We have good vibes, okay? Not dead vibes. Is that your reaction to somebody who's just lost their parent? One of the most traumatic things to ever happen? This is like insanity to me, okay? It really shows me like what streamer cares about their community and who just looks at them as a dollar sign. Look, at the end of the day, all right, your community is what makes you. If you're not there to be part of a community, then you're just like a detached idiot. Like at the end of the day, somebody just literally told you my mom died. They didn't go into detail. They didn't really talk about anything crazy. They just told you, hey, I was away because my mom died. The normal, rational response here should have been, hey, I'm sorry that your mother passed away. It really sucks. And you know what? I can't make anything better, but I can try to make the stream fun and entertaining. So for a few hours today, you can forget about this really traumatic thing that happened to you. That's a really normal response to give, and that's what you should have done as a streamer. Instead, he decided to go and lecture her for no reason, try to make her feel like bad. You obviously can tell you'll make somebody feel like shit in a community if you just directly call them out on stuff that you probably shouldn't have to begin with. It would have been such a simple response this person could again. But again, they went into a full meltdown. So again, it doesn't even end here. Let's watch more.
Thank you. Well, okay, Miss Dirty Curvy, you said, no, that's fine. You asked, so I told. No, I didn't ask you to tell me the biggest bummer news in the world. I said, hey, what's up? How are you? You know what? Let me give you a little bit of a lesson, Miss Nerdy Curvy. When something really, really bad is going on in your life, and in a public forum, someone asks you, hey, what's up? How are you? There are 2 acceptable responses. Good, and you know what? I'll make it through. That's it.
I swear this is the kind of douchebag that 100% he's the kind of guy that's like, yo man, I'm always there for you, bro. I'm always there to make you feel better, man. And then as soon as you start telling them what's going on, they're rolling their eyes all around like, oh, Jesus Christ, just stop already. Yeah, again, it's like, hey, here, I'm trying to make this community or I'm trying to make you all feel better. I'm going to go out of my way to ask you what happened. And then all of a sudden, there's only two responses. Hey, either it's all good or, hey, I'll make it through. All right, so then just don't even ask people about what's going on. Why even bother? If you're not gonna give a fuck, why even ask? It just doesn't make any sense. This is some of the dumbest behavior that I've actually ever seen. It's like somebody that wants to have this positive, crazy community, but it's like, you don't at the same time. Like, why even go out of your way to ask? This person didn't even do anything wrong. She was asked, where have you been? I'm sorry, man, my mom just died. They didn't even go into detail. They just gave you a very short, brief synopsis of what traumatic event they went through. And instead of, offering some form of human empathy, you decided to make it a goddamn song and dance lesson that you didn't have to.
It's all I'm just subtly trying to tell you that unloading really heavy news in people's chats on Twitch is not like good etiquette. It's not the place to do it. That's all I'm trying to tell you. That's it. I figured this is a good opportunity to inform you. Heavy news like that, when someone asks, hey, where have you been? You don't need to tell them, well, my dog died, my husband left me for a younger woman, my house burnt down, and my car got stolen. So I've been a little bit busy. That's why I haven't been around. Because it's like, oh, God, like, ugh.
You remember when I told you earlier he'd roll his eyes around? Boys, I'm like a goddamn fucking clairvoyant up in this. Apparently it's like, hey, if I'm going to ask you, oh, are you down? Don't go into the details about it. Like, oh, my dog died. My wife's cheating on me. My kid has leukemia. Like, oh, God, just keep it to yourself. Why even feign that you care about your community in any capacity if you're just gonna rub it off like that? Like, at this point, I have much more respect for somebody that's just a complete dick about it, okay? Like, at least if you're honest to me that you're a total asshole, I have actual respect because at least you're not trying to hide it. This is like, you go into those like stupid positive communities where like the person themselves aren't actually positive and you can tell that ahead of time. It's just baffling to me how this person thought that they could have any form of a career if they acted like this at all to their fan base. And look, this isn't like a massively big streamer either. This is a small stream, and part of the joy of small streams is that people can come in and they can chat and recognize. This community, this style is built on having regulars and discussing this kind of stuff. This is what small streaming communities are about. I remember when I had a community of like 50 people watching on live streams, it would just be 5 or 6 people chatting in the comments. And you know what? Sometimes people would come with heavy things. Sometimes people would come with super positive things. But it's kind of like being in a Discord call. That's the joy of these communities versus other larger communities where you're just literally a number in like a giant stream of text. It's baffling to me how this person doesn't even get that. Again, like I said earlier, it could have been a simple 10-second response, but instead you made a song and dance and made a fool of yourself. So, of course, We Found the Body had a big 8-minute response on YouTube about this for people on Twitter who were talking about this. And I want to go over a few points, 2 in specific, which basically paint this as one of the most brain-dead apologies where he still doesn't actually get it. Let's listen to it.
I've decided to make a video to address this whole situation regarding my reaction to someone's grief comments in my chat that have gained traction on Twitter, which is, why we're here, is why we're doing this. There's a few things that I'd like to make clear about the matter at hand. Firstly, it is well known in my channel that I do not tolerate heavy news, drama, or trauma dumping, if you will, being entered or dropped into the chat. This has been discussed and explained and made clear many times while I've been live over the last 4+ years that I've been on Twitch.
In the defense of John, he obviously has been dealing with trauma dumping for, it seems like, the last week. So obviously this might have been like a bottled up reaction that was just sort of given. Obviously we're looking at somebody who responded at their worst, in the worst possible way, so to speak. So I'm just trying to be as charitable and equal as I can be in this situation. But at the end of the day, brother, you asked what the person was up to. There's a 50-50 coin toss that either it could be the best news of either they got married or somebody died, okay? There's a 50-50 toss-up. It could be good or bad. And again, it's not like this girl went into excessive detail on what was so bad. She just said, my mom died. If that's like your cutoff point for too much negative vibes, maybe you should be fucking streaming on baby TV or something, okay? Maybe you should be streaming on YouTube Kids and dangling car keys in front of people, because then you don't have any negativity. Then it's just brain dead, okay? That's what you should be doing. I don't even get it. It's such a simple response you could have given, and he's still choosing to die on the hill.
Now, I understand that I was somewhat harsh and crass and insensitive to this woman. I'm sorry for that. I have apologized. I'm still sorry for it. I'm sorry for hurting her feelings and for being, cunty about it. But I'm not sorry for reminding her and others in the community to leave your baggage at the door when you enter someone's chat. I should have just skipped over her comments and moved on, but I didn't. And people make mistakes, and that happens to be one of the mistakes that I've made.
Well, at least he knows that it was a mistake. I just want to remind everyone real quick. I just literally heard somebody's parent dying it's baggage. Listen, again, might I remind you, it's not like she went into, again, excessive detail. You, my friend, asked, okay? You decided to walk into the minefield. And then, despite the fact that the minefield was 50 miles wide, you literally jumped onto the one goddamn claymore that was evidently visible in front of you and made the dumbest response that I've ever seen of all time. This is the kind of behavior that I don't understand from any streamer or YouTuber, is when they act like this. How do you expect to grow a fan base or be respected in front of your peers if you act like a total dick to the people around you? It's just bafflingly weird to me. Obviously, the girl felt like she was in the wrong in this situation, and I'm just going to straight up say for the record, too, it's like, maybe, all right, like, if you have something really personal and something that's kept to you, maybe if you're noticing that the vibe is super duper positive in some capacities, instead of starting and antagonizing the streamer or something, maybe keep it to yourself. But again, I'm really trying to just be as, like, fair and balanced. At the end of the day, I don't believe that girl did anything wrong in the situation. She popped into the stream, this guy recognized her name, he asked her, wait, where have you been? And she gave the most standard response, okay? She gave the most brief response to a very traumatic thing, a parent dying, okay? And, at some point I think about it like my parents are going to die too, and it's going to fuck me up. So obviously she's going through that right now. And instead of, having like a digital hug and being told, you know what? We can't get rid of your trauma, but we can try to alleviate it for a few hours. No, instead she gets a lecture from this guy. Like, what kind of world do we live in where like people have like such a it's not even empathy. There's no empathy in this situation. It's like, oh, I feel bad for making her feel terrible. Brother, somebody came up to you and telling you that, a personal family member died. That's why they were away. And instead of, comforting them, you decided to give them a lecture. I mean, honestly, play that back in your head and ask yourself, am I the asshole? Like, this is the perfect Reddit post for Aita. Am I the asshole? Because in this situation, we found the body really is. Now, do I think John should be canceled from the internet entirely for this behavior? No, I don't think this is criminal or anything of that nature. I think it's a pretty shitty response to give to somebody in your community. But do I think that he's learned from this? Probably. I think, hopefully, if the girl forgives him for this, which I don't know if she might, that's really up to her. This guy hopefully should learn not to be this kind going on forward. Again, the problem is this is something that's going to stick with his career going on forward. And people are going to remember this as a dark stain. And that's just something he's going to have to live with. Again, it could have all been avoided had John just literally comforted this person for 10 seconds in the Twitch chat. That's all that had to happen. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, wild Twitch behavior indeed. Truly degenerate dumb shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I got somebody for Star Citizen. I've been managing to bribe some people to play with me. So hopefully I'm going to record some of that later today. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. I am out. And also, please don't trauma dump in the comment section of Some Ordinary Gamers, okay? We're trying to get /pause vibes here. Don't be a /neg viber if you catch my drift. I'm fucking with you guys. I really am. I am out.